Hi everyone. Hey, you want some pasta? We got something for you right here, quick and easy. We're gonna make Swedish meatball noodle bake. Oh yeah, it is as yummy as it sounds. You're gonna like it. It's quick to put together too. I love it. So let's get our stuff out right now. Before we start, if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Give me a comment, thumbs up below. That helps the algorithm and that helps me. I'd really appreciate it. Let's get to making. We needed some meatballs. That's one bag of Swedish meatballs. A little harder to find than the regular meatballs, but that's okay, we did. If you want to make your own, hey, make your own. I just didn't have the time to do it. Normally I would. For our pasta, we've got a bag of noodles. Egg noodles, the big wide kind, is what you want. However, you can use whatever you'd like for your own tastes. Some shredded mozzarella. How about a cup of beef broth? Some sour cream. Cream of mushroom soup. Some onion powder. And some garlic powder. Oh, and near the end we're going to need some grated parm too. Okay, we're going to deal with our meatballs first. We've got our pan with parchment paper. Let's get the meatballs out of the bag. And this is really simple. We'll spread it around. Kind of like that. There. Now we're going to go into the oven, 375 for about 25 minutes. Flip them a couple times so they kind of brown on all the sides. Next up, our noodles, our egg noodles. Obviously, they're going to go into a pot, boiling water. It's going to take a few minutes. So while we're waiting for them to cook, out comes a bowl. Into that bowl, we've got our 1 cup of beef broth. And that's roughly a cup of sour cream. You don't have to be exact. Don't worry about it. Next, our can of cream mushroom soup. Get her opened and into the bowl. And a little bit of spice, some onion powder and garlic powder. Now, if you want to put real onion and real garlic into the mix, by all means. And a little bit of pepper for taste. Now we're just going to carefully mix all this around and combine it all. It can get a little tricky because if you go too quick, it's all going to fall out of the bowl, which we don't want to have happen. There we go. It didn't take too long. We'll put that aside. Here's our meatballs out of the oven, and they've been cooling for a little bit. Now here's the pan we're going to put them in. We're going to grease it up and get to work. Now the first thing we're going to do is our noodles. So the noodles have come out of the water. I've drained them. They've been sitting in the sink. And you can see they're still pretty hot. And that fills up our container. Look at that. There's not a whole lot of room left. So obviously, if you don't have a lot of people, half this recipe, it'll work out. Our meatballs are mixed with our noodles. Roughly, it doesn't have to be perfect. Now our sauce goes on top. Mix, 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 mix. Get all nice and combined. That looks pretty good. And now for our cheese. Mozzarella, and if you've got it, some grated parm. If you don't worry about it. So I had to go put a baking sheet underneath because it was pretty heavy. Into the oven, this is going to go 350 for about 20-25 minutes. Just enough time to let it get all nice and melty. And out of the oven, there we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Get a spoon out. Let's get this carefully into a bowl. Look how stringy that cheese is. That's beautiful. That's great. I love it. I'm not a huge mozzarella fan on pizza being that stringy, but I love it. There. Let's fix some of that stringy cheese up. And there you have it. Real simple Swedish meatball noodle bake. And yes, it is very yummy. I loved it. It's so simple. And it's a great way to make a meal. It's a great meal to make when you're kind of in a hurry and you want something to make. Hey, another great recipe. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a comment below, one way or the other. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell because that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. Feel free to share this and any of my other videos. And thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.